issued by its National Publicity Secretary Dagba Ologunagba in Abuja. Mr. Ologunagba said that the clarification became necessary following a report on social media claiming that there were plots to compromise the party's position to return the defected lawmakers to their seats. He said lawmakers committed an unpardonable constitutional breach. But you see, I wonder if the PDP listened to the INEC chairman yesterday, because the INEC chairman said, according to what they understand of the law, there is only one vacant seat at the House, and it means that if there is only one vacant seat, it means, inferred meaning or whatever meaning you're thinking, what that means is that the 27 lawmakers still have the seats. I'm wondering what the PDP will say about that, or why they're not reacting to that. But the PDP is insisting, hey, we're not going to take you back. We're not going to accept you back. We're not going to embrace you back. As a matter of fact, you have done an unpardonable move, and you will have to face the consequences. And it also means that because you have defected, you have lost your seats, and except you go in for another election and win, I'm sorry, you lost it forever. So that's the interpretation of what the PDP has said. But what do you make of that? What do you make of that? The PDP seemingly is very much vocal. It looks like it has changed its stance. First of all, its stance was mute. It was mute. Yeah, it was mute. It was silent. The PDP as a party was silent. Then it changed to sitting on the fence. Yes, it sat on the fence. And then it moved to... And then it moved to being very vocal, and being not just vocal, vocal on the side of the governor and against the lawmakers, because the battle basically on the surface has been between the lawmakers and the governor of Rivers State. Well, let's quickly take a look at my other big story. Number 2 big story is NJC, that's the Judicial Commission, disciplines 3 judges, bars 2 from operation. Yeah. Or rather, not operation, that was wrong. Bars 2 from promotion. I meant to write promotion. So I wish they could help me change that on Facebook. Remember, we're live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. We're live in YouTube, Nigeria Info PH, and we are active and interactive on X, Nigeria Info PH. Now, remember, was it yesterday? Was it the day before? Okay, I wasn't around the day before, right? So I guess it was yesterday. It has to be yesterday, or was it on Tuesday? I mentioned the NJC. I think it was yesterday while we were talking about the statement made by the INEC chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu. I mentioned, and I said, see, I do think that the judiciary being slow and all of the conflict judgment from high courts, whether at the federal or state level, is something that the NJC must act on. And I've just realized, just reading this story, that I would read out shortly so that you can get an understanding of what we're talking about. I do think that people would have to write a petition to the NJC so that the NJC can act upon their petition and do some findings to see if at all there are any breaches, there are any malfeasances, or any of the judge flouted the law guiding the activities of a judge. Why am I saying that? Now let's quickly look at an article on Channels TV website, and it has the caption. It has the caption, where is it now? NJC issues. My network is terrible, so just give me a minute there. NJC issues warning letters to 3 judges, bars them from elevation. So now the National Judicial Council, under the chairmanship of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, at his plenary of the 105th meeting held on the 15th and 16th of May 2024 resolved to issue warning letters to Justice Inyang Ekwo of the Federal High Court and Justice G.B. Brickings Okolosi of Delta State High Court. Now, a statement by the NJC Director of Information, Soji Oye, says Justice Ekwo is warned for abuse of the discretionary power of a judge by wrongly granting an ex parte order in a suit between Juliet Ebere Nwadi Baka and two others versus Seplat Energy PLC and 12 others. Does that sound? I mean, the case is not anything related to the Rivers crisis, but when you look at the Rivers crisis, you want to think, okay, ex parte order. Have we had ex parte orders, in the series of conflicting judgments in recent times? Yes, I do think we have. And so if someone writes a petition to the NJC, maybe you feel like any of the justices involved in the political drama in Rivers State has failed to follow the principles of the law, then yeah, maybe we should call the NJC. I don't know if you agree with me on that one, but reading on, Justice Ekwo is also barred from being elevated to a higher bench for 2 years. It sounds like a story from a while back. I think that was Justice White, if I remember very well. And this one says, Honorable Justice G.B. Brickings Okolosi of Delta State High Court, on his part, is also issued a warning for failure to deliver judgment within stipulated period in Joseph Anene Okafor versus Skybank after parties had filed and adopted their final written addresses. Now, Justice Brickings Okolosi will also not be elevated to a higher bench for a period of 3 years. The NJC also cautioned Justice Amina Shehu of Yobe State High Court for issuing writ of possession conferring title on the defendant in a suit when there was no subsisting judgment of any court to enable his lordship issued the writ. Now, the council at the meeting considered two reports of its two preliminary complaints assessment committees that filtered 35 petitions written against judges of the federal and state high courts and decided to empanel 8 committees to further investigate the petitions that were found meritorious by the committees. The council also considered the recommendation of its interview committee on appointment of judicial officers of all superior courts of record in Nigeria and resolved to recommend 86 judicial officers for appointment to the Court of Appeal, High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Sharia Courts of Appeal, and Customary Courts of Appeal of states in Nigeria. Okay, so basically, I do not know if Rivers State issues amongst the investigations that are currently ongoing, but amongst the many that they had, some of them were struck out, were kicked out for lacking in merit, like they would say in court, and some others are not being further investigated. I wonder if Rivers State is amongst it. But hey, if you feel aggrieved, the second, is it Okolosi is being punished or disciplined because it did not give judgment within stipulated time. So if you feel the justices are dragging on this case longer than they should, maybe you should also petition the NJC, because I do feel the judiciary has got a major role to play, which you and I will find in my next conversation. They've got a major role to play, and so we need to put them on their toes. And if writing to the NJC will do that, I'm wondering why you're not writing. But I just wanted you to know that that some people petition the NJC, like I told you a few days ago, yesterday to be precise, and the NJC is acting on it right now, and some people are being disciplined. But let's quickly look at my third big story. And this is something that concerns you as it relates to fuel. Oh my. Yesterday, I did not sleep very well because of the current petrol situation and the very poor, very paltry electricity supply in my area. Okay, I've got friends at PHEDC, so I should not shout too much, but my point is this concerns everyone, of course. And the story says IPMAN is promising that the current fuel shortage in Rivers State will end soon. I don't know about these stories, but NNPC told us that there will be no petrol situation, that they had enough supplies, right? And then we ended up having a petrol situation where people are buying petrol for a very exorbitant amount, 820, 845, some places 900. I don't know how much it is selling in your area. Maybe you want to tell me how much it is selling in your area. But let's look at the story where IPMAN promised Nigerians petrol, and they promised that all will be well. So according to the story, I thought I had the story written down. Apparently I can't seem to find it, so I will just let's see. Oh my, I where did I see that story? Just give me a minute there so I can read it out for you. Oh, now, the Zonal Secretary of IPMAN, Emmanuel Inimba, says there will soon be an end to the current fuel shortage in the state, with NNPCL making deliberate efforts to supply enough products to depots in Port Harcourt. In a telephone interview with correspondent Soibi Ruwari, Mr. Inimba confirmed that new vessels are expected to land over the weekend, which will ensure that most filling stations have fuel to sell by the end of next week. But a stakeholder in the oil and gas sector, Joseph Obele, says the fuel scarcity may persist due to the continued closure of the portal where marketers register to buy products. So we will take a listen to what he had to say. Where's that soundbite now?